All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on question 1, and we're going to build the stem here. But what's cool about this is we're going to do a new technique, or a new, a different technique than we've been doing, where we just kind of take the dimensions and build, and instead we're going to use the existing geometry. So if you look here, they're giving us some of the pieces. You have two choices when you're using existing when you have a drawing like this, to go over here where you could go from the top, or go here where we're going to go from the right. I'm going to pick the right. You could easily do it this way and just do the other direction. It would, either way would work. Okay, so I'm here. So I'm going to go to the right view, and I'm going to turn off things I don't need. So they gave us all these parts over here. I don't need this spacer. I don't need this bearing. I don't need this bike frame, and I don't need this cap. But I want to keep these because these are the things I'm going to use to make sure that I'm doing the right dimensions. I'm going to go ahead and do sketch. And when you look through, you're on the right view cube, but they've turned off these here. You could always turn them back on, or just click on that word right. So now we're sketching there. To get what exists already, I'm going to do this thing called project convert. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click on that circle. And then these lines here, might as well do the top too, just in case. I don't think I need it, but it doesn't hurt. Cool. Now check this out. I'm going to turn off the steer tube, and I'm going to turn off the bike handlebar. And now I have these pieces that I need. So if you look at the dimensions of this, that's that circle. This is things going on here, over here. Good to go. Okay. So let's build those parts. So we're going to want to build, we want to put a line going straight through a construction line from this center point over here. And we want to keep that horizontal constraint. And that's just so I have some things to work with that I can think about. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do an offset circle. So let's find offset. Here it is. I always say it looks like a glove or Snoopy or something like that. I'm going to click on here. And oh, I still have that on. Sorry. Turn that off. Hit enter. And then change that to 10. Okay. The next thing we need to do is we need to what? Do something fabulous. Okay. We need a distance of the edge, and it's going to go from here over by 8. So I'm going to put a line. Actually, I'm going to do an offset again. Why not? We're on an offset. So I have to flip this. So I'm going to go ahead and click that arrow and then hit enter and then make it 8. Now I can put in some other geometry to help me out. So let's just throw in a rectangle. I'm going to start on this side and work my way. Maybe if I actually hit rectangle, right? Work my way this way. And you're just going to look for a way not to line it to anything. So don't let it constrain anything. Don't let it add any constraints that are supposed to help you and always are a pain in the butt. All right, and then we're going to dimension this. So let's throw some dimensions. So I know from here to here, so this point to this point, I'm trying to be specific, is 30. And then the other thing I know is that that should not be connected, so hopefully that doesn't stay connected. We want this to be halfway. So let's do a midpoint. So hopefully you have yours there, but if not, and then let's go from here to here. And instead it made that line that, so hold on, let me do this. No, let's do this. Wow, it is just being a pain. I just want that line to be the same as that line so that it ends up being a midpoint. There may have been an easier way to do that, but so be it. Now we're going to have an angled line that comes down from here to here. Do not lock it into anything. And, oh, I'm in a constraint. Sorry, line. It's being weird. Did it pick line? Okay, it did. Click here, and let's go here. And we want that to be tangent. So we want this and this circle to touch and round each other out nicely. And I want to mirror it. And there's a reason I'm using these. So this is the center line for the mirror. And then this is the line I'm mirroring. Because what happens is it makes everything even when you do that based on that dashed line we made. So now I'm dimensioning this. The dimension is 30. No, I'm sorry, 50. I was looking at a different number. Cool, right? This blue line doesn't matter because we don't really need it. We could delete all that weird stuff, but I think we're okay there. The other thing I'm going to do is do this. This I had done when we did it as a class. I did this as a secondary piece. I'm going to do it right now. And I'm going to do that midpoint. I wish that other line had been a midpoint to begin with so that it would have... It's being weird. So you can do this. Right click, watch this craziness. Select other. And then you can actually pick, oh, I did not pick that. Let's try this again. Select other. And then you can go through and you can figure out, see how that, when I put my mouse over this edge of sketch one thing, it gives me the right one. And I hit that and now it's even. The other thing I'm going to do is dimension this. So from here to here. Going to be 10. So I guess I could have dimensioned it 10 as well. And then the distance from here, from this point to here, straight down, is 5. Let me move that over so you can see the number. Okay. And finally, we're going to do this rounded corner, which is going to be a 2. I'm going to try to grab both. If it turns pink or red or something, it's because you have like a 20 here and it's struggling. You could do them one at a time if that happens. But if you can do them both, go ahead and click them and then change it to 2. And then it should all be correct. All right, that looks really good. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go right ahead and I'm going to hit OK on my sketch. I'm going to extrude this, and I'm going to be weird about my extrude, so pay attention. It's this, 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 and this. Could I have deleted, oh, these two here. Could I have deleted it? Like, could I have gone through and deleted those lines so that I could click once and be done? Yes, I could have. But it doesn't really change anything here, so I'm not worried about it. We're going to extrude this 60, so we're creating the whole, so we want to keep blind, make this 60, but we want it to be symmetric. And it's still thinking, when you see here, there's add new, make sure it says new. And then let's hit OK. And hopefully this thing doesn't crash because it's preparing to extrude and having a moment, which is probably connected to the fact that I'm streaming this. So, yeah, that's not cool. Refresh and see if it loses its mind or not. Hopefully it's still recording. Okay, so based on this, it still needs to do the extrude. So let's give it a shot. And maybe this is why you want to delete those lines. Maybe Onshape's like processing can't handle doing this many things at once. So I'm going to try one more time. If this doesn't work, then I will have to delete it. Ooh, wait, it decided to acknowledge the one I had already done. That was very odd. Okay, that looks really good. I want to throw a fillet on this, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go to fillet, And instead of originally trying to do this stuff when I was in the drawing, I'm just doing it after it's built. And those of you that were in class know the struggle we had. So the struggle bus was serious. And that was very simple. Okay, so we have that done now. Watch this. If I turn everything back on, we have this existing thing. It is not complete. Do not turn it in yet. Okay, I'm going to turn everything on. I'm going to turn on the important stuff, I guess. This and this. And as you can see, it's all lined up and ready to go. So now we just have to cut out this other side. To do this, the easiest thing to do is create a new plane and have it hover offset above here. And it does a normal 25 millimeters is like its standard. I'm totally fine with that. There's no reason for it to be anywhere like specific. So that works. I'm going to keep everything turned on, but I'm going to go to sketch and turn on this plane. And when I click so if I go here, I could accidentally get that surface. Instead, I'm going to click on this plane 1 over here and see how it says plane 1 here? That's how I know I've done it correctly. And then we're going to project some stuff again. So we're going to use project. And we're going to go here. And what else do I need for this? We're definitely going to need the edge because we're going to cut away that rounded part. So let's grab these. I don't want that point, but I do want that line. I feel like it goes out to this line here. And then again, we're going to use offset, and we're going to click on that. The one we already used and did that. And then we're going to hit enter. We're going to type in the number 8. And you'll see that it bumps right up to that. So that means we've done that correctly. And then I'm going to go here. And again, I am not going to let it line up to anything. And then I'm not, see how that wants to do that midpoint? Don't let it do it like there. There we go. I like that. And then we hit escape. Okay, so we're in good shape there. Now we can go right ahead and constrain it. So I'm going to go with tangent. I don't know why I don't have it. This monitor doesn't seem that small to me, but it's okay. And what else? Let's put in a like, do I really need to do a mirror, or can I just do another line? I think I'm just going to do another line. Like, come on. Just don't tie it to anything. Make sure it's not tied to anything. And again, we're going to make it tangent. That's the one thing it could have. If it accidentally had a tangent, you're fine there. All right, so if we rotate this, you should see this. And this should be gray. And that looks good. So we can hit OK. And then we're going to do extrude, remove, through all. But we're not going to merge with all. We're actually going to use a merge scope of just this piece. Okay, so now let's see what we're going to do. So faces and sketch regions, I had to click on it because it was pink, so I had to pick up this triangle, and the circle in the middle. And hit OK. That looks great. Let's turn off that plane because it's annoying. So there's an eyeball right here. I like that. Now it still has a couple little weird things we have to do, which includes a couple fillets. So let's do them. This fillet, this little rounded area here is filleted. This little rounded area here is filleted. And they're the same. So you can see they're on both sides. That's 20. Yes, we could have done it in the drawing, but I'm telling you, we did it in class and that went it got really complicated, and this is super easy. So sometimes you got to think about which way is the easier way to do it, and this is definitely the easier. And then finally we're going to do a one that goes around the edge, and when you click on it, it's going to turn pink. Oh wait, fill it. It's mad at me. It's red and pink, and that's because it's 20, which is too big, but we're not going to do 20. So once you change the number, you should be fine. So you're going to change it to 2. Hit enter, and it should be happy. As long as everything went the way we were supposed to, this line is going to continuously run all the way around and round everything. If you've done that, you're in good shape, and you can hit check. So the final thing we're going to do is we're going to name it and give it a material. So I'm going to right click, go to assign material. And the material is aluminum 6061. And I'm going to hit check. And then the other thing I'm going to do is name it. So this is it just says initial part, but it is a stem. So let's go right ahead and right click and rename stem. I'm going to make it lowercase just so to remind myself that it's the one I made and not the other one. We can also change the color since they have some cool colors going on here. So let's see, here's the bike frame and the cap, right? Bearing and spacer. Okay. So if we're just looking here. Frank Newkirk, could you please report to the front lobby? Frank Newkirk to the front lobby. Okay, and we have an announcement in the middle of the recording. What do you think? Yeah, I think that looks pretty darn good with the aqua. I'm going with aqua. Or whatever. Cyan, teal, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so that's it. You can turn it in. You've done it. Great job, guys. And it was a really cool build to build with the existing geometry. So I appreciate everybody that hung with me through that whole thing. Have a great day.